really try to pray about the situations that I encounter and, just try to let God lead me, because some of the situations are really difficult and it's hard to know really how to help.
My name is David Alexander, and this is my wife Barbara, and we're both counselors in Athens.
I'm at a campus with really young children, and a lot of them have parents that work, and so some of their home lives, it's hectic.
In the last 5 years I've been working with special ed students, and most of my students, I would say, I have poor backgrounds.
They really just like the attention from an adult, and so that gives me the opportunity. I see a lot of students.
I'm just thinking of one student in particular who is a very bright young boy, but they don't have a lot of resources at home. And an example, last year, his shoes, the soles are falling off the bottom of the shoes to the point where he was in junior high, and some other students actually ripped off the bottom of his shoes. So he had kind of half shoes, and so situations would come like that. We would pitch in and buy him some new shoes. But what he really does is he loves to read, and so I had a little program where I knew he was a good student. I said, just keep your grades up, and we'll get you a book at Christmas. And he loves this, I hate to say this, books about dragons. So I'd buy him this large book that it was like Christmas, really truly a wonderful Christmas, because the family couldn't afford the book.
Well, I just had the opportunity to meet a woman who, was struggling with some really serious problems as far as her home life. She was a widow with a young child, and her mother was very ill, and just in the opportunity to interact with her daily, and knowing that there are a lot of teachers here that are Christians, and so we, share and talk and pray, and so she had just shared some of her needs, and from that, there was just that burden to help her. And so, I talked to David, and David's extremely handy.
It was very easy to do this simply because the woman we were talking about had a very small list, but it was she had her kitchen faucet was leaking. She couldn't have hot water in her bathroom because of the leaks. Her fence was falling down.
There are no men that are in her life, not a father, uncle, brother. And so to do, household repairs was just extremely difficult. So
I and another gentleman, it only took us 2 days, one day to look at it and one day to do it. And we did it on a Saturday morning. And interesting enough, the smallest project, she wanted a star hung up for her daughter. Her daughter had this copper or brass star that she'd gotten earlier in the year, but she wanted it hung up in her room, and they had a vaulted ceiling so they couldn't reach it. And so that took 2 seconds, but her mother said that was the greatest joy of the whole experience, whether the hot water or whatever. But the neatest thing, her daughter could walk and say, "Oh, my star's up." So, and it talks about when you're serving widows and orphans. And only the simple truth came to me was, you have to know somebody if they're a widow. I can't just walk down the street and spot a widow. I have to be involved with people and get involved and know people. And that's when you know they have a need. And that's how we become Christ's hands and feet, as they say. Grant you, honestly, that when we were digging post holes to fix the fence, John and I thought we were going to pass out. It was a very humid day. But it only took us a couple hours to do it. But afterwards, there was a sense of, there's a feeling that you cannot get from anywhere else when you've helped somebody. That altruistic feeling, that's what they call it. But the sense of, I've helped somebody, and I did it out of my heart. And if you've never experienced that, I don't think you've lived life, really.